right, I'm going to spin the Romney, and remember this has a really, really long staple length. Look how airy, well, it's not supposed to be airy, but it just had some high crimp, like the crimp was, high. So it makes it look a little puffy. Okay, so let's go ahead and do our worsted draw. Now, because the staple is so long, the staple was probably this long. Our hands need to be kind of further back. You can also review the module on spinning consistent yarn. It will go through all that. We're not going to go through it again about yarn length and plyback and all that because you already learned that. So go back and check it out. Now for the worsted draw, we did use the worsted draw in the second module. So what you want to do is draw forward and keep your hand in contact with the yarn at all times, and then back, draft and back. So you're smoothing it down as you go, and the fibers are nice and parallel, and it's going to make for a really lustrous yarn. Very smooth, very sleek. This is really, look how pretty that is. Look how pretty that is. That's really, really beautiful. And then I do a little plyback. Look how sleek that is. I hardly see any little flyaways or anything. But this is a really nice yarn to use for cables. If you want to spin a high twist, a thinner yarn, you can use it as a warp on weaving. Okay, let's try to get a little bit thinner. Always keeping your fingers in contact with that yarn. Now this is called the inchworm or the forward worsted draft. If I do the backward worsted draft, this hand stays where it is. This hand moves back, but this hand moves back as well. Watch. So when I draft, I'm going to draft backwards, come back, backwards, come back, backwards, come back, backwards, come back, and then I let it go in, and then I'll do it again. Now, when you get the spinners that are very accomplished, very fundamental, they feel that this backward draft is not as consistent as a forward draft. As a new spinner, you may not see a difference, and you may not care, which is okay. I like to use the forward, and what I do is I kind of get in a position where I'm comfortable, where my hands are where they're going to be. I don't hold my hands out in front of me because my shoulders, it's too much effort on them. So I usually just find a nice little spot, and then off I go. And review the section that also talks about whorls and all that stuff and how to get the twist per inch that you're looking for in your whorl. But anyway, look how simple that is. Super simple. There's your worsted prep, worsted draw. All right, that is it. So let's, I think I'm going to spin the merino for a second, and let's see how thin we can get. And there's a little nep right there, and all I'm going to do is pull that out. I'm going to see how thin we can get. You know why? Because we used the olive oil on it. So we're going to see how that works out. All right, I'll be right back.